Hello, happy Wednesday, September 6th or September 7th, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Greg Hemmer. I'm the head of ecosystem at Shardeum, and we're here today for Shardeum's August 2023 update. We noticed everyone in the community seems to enjoy these updates, and they're a great way for us to remain consistent in sharing our progress. So we'll now be hosting these monthly updates where we share what's latest with marketing, business operations and people operations, as well as ecosystem growth and technology at Shardeum. We're excited to tell you about what's coming soon, keep you updated on our roadmap to mainnet, and answer any questions you have. With that, Nishal, Shardeum's president and co-founder, will get started with the presentation.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, everyone. Great to be here. And as we had promised in our last quarterly update, we are now moving to a monthly update schedule. This is to keep in line with our motivation to now focus on the mainnet. And as we get closer, we wanted to make sure that we update you on a more regular basis. This August has been pretty good for Shardeum. We even launched our roadmap, which is very comprehensive, and you can keep a tab on what the team is working on every week. One of the, I would say, most popular events that happened this month in August was the Proof of Community Backpacking India event. And the objective with that was to ensure that we conduct our proof of community in all the 28 states in India. And we've just, sort of completed the first month of that event. It'll carry on through September and October. Until now, we've had these POC Backpacking India event in about 12 colleges and had close to 1,000 participants. So it's going pretty well. And if you happen to be in one of the cities where this is happening, please do attend. Let's go to the next slide. So in terms of content, we've been running this Shardeum Borderless program, which the intention of that program is to ensure that the content around Shardeum is available in multiple languages apart from English. And we had over 39 posts as part of that program. If you happen to be someone who can help us create content in multiple different languages, please do, I would say, try to participate in this event, in this program, and help us spread the word about blockchain and Web3 and Shardeum in different languages. A bit of an update about Proof of Community. So it was about a year ago, in August 2022, that we launched Proof of Community as a small little event. We did not really think that it will be so popular that we would continue doing it. And it's been over a year now, and it's been running successfully. We've had over, I think, 200 Proof of Community events until now. And we've in every event, I think, we've seen great participation. there's been a lot of learning, a lot of collaboration. I've heard stories about people learning about Web3 for the first time. They've always heard about Web3, but proof of community events is where they actually understand what Web3 is, where to start from, what products to use. I've heard developers talking about deploying their first smart contracts thanks to these proof of community events. So the idea is to continue to do that and continue to scale in multiple countries. We've already been launching proof of community in different countries. In August, Philippines was the new country that we launched in, and the idea is to continue doing this. In terms of our social and community, I think one great news that happened in August was the Telegram channel crossed over 50,000 subscribers, and it's a very active community right now on the Telegram group. So if you're on Telegram, please join the Telegram community as well. We can go to the next slide. So these are some of the metrics. I'm not going to read them out. You can see them, but I think what you'll notice is a bunch of reds and greens. In terms of website, I think there's been a drop, but it's not significant. And when we compare this to the rest of the ecosystem, it's more to do with the current, bear market vibes that are going on. It's going to get better. We did have a drop in our blog, and the reason for that is now our team is setting up for the mainnet launch, and we are trying to change some of our strategies, which was the reason why this month in August we did not have any blog posts. But from September, we'll start with our new strategy, and you'll see some exciting, new content coming up. In terms of Twitter, I think we've been doing well. We crossed over 200,000 Twitter followers. Discord has been growing well. You'll see a small dip in the Discord numbers. That's because we sort of pruned all the inactive Discord participants, and despite that, we still had a great number of people signing up on Discord as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll hand it over to Kelsey to talk about Shardeum's efforts in the US and Europe.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey McGuire. I'm Shardeum's CGO based over here in New York City in the US. So a lot of exciting things happening over here. We've been holding steady with our traction in the United States and always looking to grow more. We're working on the brand refresh we've mentioned before. Thank you to everyone who participated in the survey, and we'll start to see the results of that before the end of the month. So we'll be really excited to release that. We're building Shardeum's US community through meetups, the proof of community. We're really pushing hard on PR and engaging in key conferences over here. We had a proof of community event during Stanford Blockchain Week, which was fantastic, well attended, and we participated across that conference as well. We're pushing really hard on PR, and we've seen media coverage across AMB Crypto. We are on a proof of PR podcast as well as on TechCrunch. And so coming up next, please reach out if you're going to be at permissionless. I will be out there. We're hosting a Masari mainnet side event here in New York City, and we're launching a proof of community series here in New York as well. So really exciting. Please follow up with us. We're here to connect and help with the community over here, and handing it over to Shazad now.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. This is Shazad Nathani here. I'm here reporting from Korea, where I'm representing Team Shardeum here for the Korea Blockchain Week. The response we've seen here at a grassroots ground level has just been phenomenal. The events we have attended, the people we have met, literally people recognize the brand, want to partner with us, want to understand how they can collaborate and grow together. So that's been an incredible experience here for the last 3 days. Kelsey mentioned we were part of the Stanford blockchain the week before. Phenomenal response there, seeing market as well. And as Nishal mentioned, now we're exploring new countries where we want to host our proof of community event. One scheduled here this Friday, which is going to be the first in Seoul in Korea. And from here, we go on to Singapore, where we will be holding another event, which will be a first in Singapore as well, a proof of community. So great things happening on Shardeum. We have had several meetings this week and tons of them planned as we to the week and the next week forward. So looking forward to ships very soon. From here on, we go to Mesari Mainnet in New York, where again we have a series of meetings planned as well. So thank you very much, blockchain, which is coming up in October. So that's an interesting event we're looking forward to in home ground. Very much. With that, I hand over the mic to Jeremy.
Hi, thanks, Shazad. World traveler over here. So excited to give a few people updates. We are now a total team size of 52 with 3 new individuals, really great teammates joining us this past month. While we have been really focusing on technical hiring, we will be launching some non-tech roles over the next quarter, so please stay tuned if you're interested in those. And also, please check in on our blogging campaign, Committers of the Month, that we've been doing. It's a great way for the community to see how they can support individuals on our team in their areas of expertise, especially as we head towards open source. And as always, check out our careers page, and thank you for all the support as always. That's my quick update. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Jeremy. Really love the committer update of the month. So at Shardeum, we had 7 new projects join the ecosystem in August. Those projects were CopperX, a really exciting payments application. The user interface looks pretty similar to a popular Web2 payments application you may know called Stripe. So cool to see how easy it is now to send and receive payments on Shardeum. When our mainnet goes live, that'll be great. The first multi-sig wallet deployed on Shardeum called DSig. If you haven't tried it out, give it a try. It's a fresh user experience to create and manage, a multi-sig wallet for things like DAOs. We had 3 questing platforms go live. We're ramping up efforts on questing platforms for some exciting campaigns soon. So those quest apps are WallApp, Airlift, and Tascon. Shardeum's first NFT marketplace deployed. That's called Mixed Rarity. And also a lending and borrowing pools called Unilend Finance is now deployed on Shardeum Sphinx dApp testnet as well. So we have 1 ecosystem team member, really great metric to see 7 new projects joining in. As Shardeum gets closer to mainnet, we will scale out the ecosystem team. So the ecosystem will only continue to grow faster and faster. I was invited to speak at the OKX Ignite event at Stanford. I spoke on the same panel as a Stanford professor, David Say, who invented an algorithm that's used in 3G, 4G, and 5G networking. The head of ventures at OKX, Jeff Wren, was also on that panel. So really great to speak with some other esteemed panelists. And also spoke at Aspecta ID's event called Builders Night, which they did in collaboration with a lot of other great organizations, such as Foresight Ventures. They were both highly attended, great audience there, and great opportunity to talk more about Shardeum in the US and grow our brand at Stanford, where we had the most talented group of founders and VCs in Web3 all in one place. Shardeum's Devrel Sandipan presented a presentation about sharding at Web3 Conf in Goa. That looked like a really great conference. Sandipan also did a developer workshop at IIM Nagpur, which is one of the top business universities in India, where they also learn about STEM and computer science. That was about a 3-hour workshop, and he was educating these students on, beginner concepts in Web3, how to deploy the first smart contracts, and then went deeper into Shardeum and different types of applications that can be deployed on Shardeum were demonstrated to the students. Within our ecosystem, over 100,000 Shardeum Unity NFTs have now been minted on our partner platform Bandit. So really great to see all the user activity there, and excited to continue to grow the NFT community on Shardeum. Take it away, Omar.
All right, thank you, Greg. It's really awesome to see all the exciting stuff happening on the marketing side. And on the tech side, we have a lot of amazing stuff going on as well. I know we haven't really deployed this out to the beta net yet, so you probably haven't experienced this, but this will be available coming up pretty soon. So one of the things that we've done is we've improved our protocol for syncing validators. So now it takes fewer cycles for a validator to sync up and go active. And there's less chance of a validator getting messed up during the syncing process. So that's going to be a really awesome improvement. We've also been making improvements to our archiver syncing protocol. It's probably a little complicated to explain how this works, but essentially it will make sure that an archiver stays really up to date on the data that's getting streamed from the validators, and sharing that with other archivers so that they're all synchronized. So we've also fixed some bugs that we noticed with which were causing some of these lost node issues. So if you've looked at our Explorer and you look at one of the blocks, you'll see that occasionally there will be a lot of nodes that appear as they were lost, but then all of those nodes typically join back in again. And this isn't really that much of a problem, other than it just causes the network to have to do like more work figuring out which nodes are lost and which ones aren't lost and so forth. So we fixed a lot of the issues that we found with that, but it hasn't completely eliminated the problem yet. I think there's going to be improvements to that as we make improvements to some of our other protocols. Like one of the things that we have scheduled right now is improvements to our join protocol. And currently that's putting a lot of load on the network. And then once that's improved and is more efficient, I think we'll see improvement in these lost nodes as well. Not done yet. You might want to go back. Yeah. All right. So yeah. And then another thing, we added, functionality to make Shardeum more compatible with other EVM chains. So a lot of this was in our RPC server, and just adding more APIs and things like that, so that we're supporting more of the APIs that are available in other chains. And then a final thing that is not listed on here is that we added the ability to pull network configuration parameters from the node's configuration parameters from the network. So basically, even if you start up a validator node and you have it misconfigured, it won't cause issues when you join the network, because the node will actually get those configuration parameters from the network, and so things should work fine. And then we've released the roadmap, so you can track that. The marketing team's doing a great job of making that available and keeping it updated. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I have there. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Omar. So we shared all of Shardeum's updates in August. Now let's talk about what's coming soon. A few members of the team are currently at Korea Blockchain Week. That's Shazad Nathani, Tyler Choi, and Swami Nathan. So if you're interested to work with Shardeum, please connect with them. We'll also be at Token 2049 next week. That's in Singapore. We'll be sponsoring and hosting a few events there, as well as touring the conference. Plenty of us will be wearing Shardeum t-shirts, so if you'd like to connect, please find us there. Shardeum's Chief Growth Officer, Kelsey McGuire, will be in Austin, Texas at Permissionless later this month. We'll also be at Masari Mainnet in New York City, planning to attend DevConnect in Turkey in November, ETH India in December, and continuing to attend most of the major conferences in 2024. We're continuing to ramp up technical hiring. So if you're really strong with Node.js and TypeScript and have experience maybe working with distributed systems and are interested in Web3, it's something you're really passionate about, please apply. And we're continuing to grow our engineering team. We have opened up our form for grant applications. We're not currently distributing grants, but we're now evaluating projects that are making measurable progress, and in the future we'll be distributing grants. So that grant application form is live, and feel free to apply there. We're doing a revamp for Shardeum missions. So we'll now be partnering with different developer community platforms and hosting our missions there, where we have access to a greater developer community that these partners have built. So it'll be fun to see these missions now posted on some of the popular Web3 developer platforms. We will be launching Shardeum bounties soon. On the tech side, we will soon be releasing improvements to the validator join protocol. So I think this will reduce the number of requests the standby validators have when attempting to join the network, to reduce the load on the active validators. So, they have less overhead. We'll be implementing an operation mode to halt transaction processing if the network is under attack. So the network can continue to process coin transfer transactions, I believe, but all like EVM functionality, token transfer transactions will come to a halt in worst case scenarios. And we'll also be adding RPC support for gas estimation. The tech team will also be implementing binary serialization for improvements to efficiency and security. We're releasing our data distribution protocol. This is a really big feature that will be coming soon. It will change the way data is extracted from the network, and RPCs will become full nodes. So if you're familiar with Shardeum, we have something called access list generation. And that's something that will greatly improve with efficiency once the data distribution protocol is live. RPCs will now be able to produce the access lists on their own rather than asking the validators for the data to produce the access list. And so if you've experienced things like the revert bug in our DAppNet, that should go away once this is live. It'll also enable a big ecosystem of third-party applications to do things like run data indexing solutions and provide APIs on RPCs for Shardeum. We'll be releasing the white paper. The patents, defensive patents, will be filed soon, and also working towards open sourcing the Shardeum Explorer code. So with that, I think we'll open it up for questions. Or do
Yeah,
we
I
have
think
another here?
I can see some questions coming up. We can start answering the questions, and I think if any of you watching has any more questions, please feel free to ask. We'll take them one at a time. I think
Great.
the first question is probably more tech related. No, let's take this. I can see the questions here. Someone's asking that people have been running nodes. Will there be some incentives? And I think while we haven't really started an incentivized testnet yet, we do plan to start a formal incentivized testnet once our release candidate, which is based on the roadmap, when all of the features are done and ready, we will definitely have an incentivized testnet. But for those who are running it now, we do have some plans. The team is working on it, and as soon as those I would say those plans are in place, we'll announce them. We can't commit to anything, but we are aware that a lot of people are helping us run the existing testnet as well, and it has been really helpful in understanding and making the product better. So watch out for any announcements in the future around that. The next question is, I think someone's asking, how can I run a node on Shardeum? And we have a lot of resources on the website. And there are quite a few videos as well, step-by-step instructions. Feel free to follow those instructions. It's fairly simple to run a node. And the team continues to make it simpler and easier for everyone to run a node. Omar, you want to add something, or Greg, on running a node on Shardeum?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's pretty simple. We've tried to build a really nice dashboard from which you can control your node, and even the process of installing and running your node is really just a matter of running like one command, which pulls down a Docker image and installs that and spins everything up, and then you get a URL to a web interface, and then you'll connect to that web interface and be able to control your node from there. So if you haven't tried it, definitely give it a try. It's a pretty smooth experience. And there's a lot of people in the community that can also support you if you run into any problems or anything. Hopefully you shouldn't. Probably the harder part is getting Dockers set up on your computers if you're not familiar with how to do that. But there's also instructions on how to do that as well.
Thanks, Omar. I think one of the question is about, someone's asking that there are some dApps that have a lot of errors when they try to swap or add liquidity on the testnet, and they're asking for the reason. Omar, you want to take this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of like little issues that we're having. This is especially on the beta net, and those are related to the communication that has to happen between the RPC server and the validators in order to generate the access list. So we're especially with things like nodes getting marked as lost and then coming back. If you accidentally happen to pick a validator node that is having issues, then it won't your RPC request won't be able to generate that access list properly, and so your transaction might fail. But yeah, we're aware of all of these, lots of these little issues, and methodically we're going to go through and get everything fixed up. But there's a lot of improvements that are coming, down the pipeline with improvements to our protocols, which will be essential to making the system a lot more scalable and robust. So look forward for that. And yeah, we're aware of these things. One thing that could help, but it'll be a lot of effort if you try to do this, is trying to generate the access list on your own from the front end and including that in the request. So that will bypass the need for the RPC server to generate that access list for you. So, but that'll be
This
something
is
that the app developer has to do,
yeah.
not something that the user can do.
Yeah, I was about to say that. But irrespective of that, I think even if the dApp devs do not change things, I think our data distribution protocol that is underway will solve a lot of these issues, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that the data distribution protocol, and even the improvements to the join protocol, where it'll cause less load on the network from all the thousands of nodes that are in standby. So those things will definitely help.
And this is listed on our roadmap, so all of you guys can keep an eye out on these two important work that are under development: the data distribution protocol and the new join protocol v2. I think one of them is going live by the end of this month, and the other one is probably sometime in October. But keep an eye out on the roadmap.
With that, should we share the roadmap quickly? I think we were supposed to screen share
you
the roadmap on the last slide.
You can do that. If you want, we'll continue to take questions in the meanwhile. If someone can share the roadmap, that'll be good. We can just show a quick preview to everyone. Moving forward with the next question, I think someone's asking what's the ETA for gas preset. I'm not sure exactly what this means, but I'm guessing there's some trouble with setting the exact gas required for some transactions, I guess. Omar, you want to take this?
Yeah, there's actually a project underway now to estimate the gas more correctly. Because currently you can just set the gas the gas limit that you're willing to spend to a really high number, and that should take care of things. One thing that you don't have to worry about in the Shardeum network is trying to figure out like how much do you want to pay for the gas. That's a parameter that you have to deal with in other networks like Ethereum and many of the other smart contract chains. On Shardeum, the gas price will be fixed for everyone, so that'll be something that you don't have to actually tweak or worry about. It's just the gas limit, which is like how much gas will your transaction spend before it runs out. And we have a project right now to get a more accurate calculation on that. And yeah, once that's in, then that you probably won't have to do anything. Your client will make a request to the RPC server, and then it'll return back that amount, and then it'll just show you in your wallet client, what the gas amount should be for that transaction.
So we have the roadmap out here, and the link to this is on the website as well, and we would recommend you keeping an eye on this. A lot of the questions are around the answers to them actually exist in the roadmap, and you'll be able to keep track of when this goes live. You can see the to-do list, which is the first column, and then there's the in progress, which is what the team is currently working on, and then there's the live stage. For the live stage, we have since we have two networks, the dApp testnet and the validator testnet. So you can see both of those. The rollout takes some time. We first roll out. Currently, we roll out to the dApp testnet first, and then we roll out to the validator testnet. I think the gas preset one, that's probably part of the EVM compatibility changes, right, Omar?
No, that there's a separate project for that by itself.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
just
Okay.
go- Yeah, the EVM compatibility changes are separate. There's another project. 1 minute. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing it right now, but I know there's a separate
I think it's
for
it's probably
calculating the
or
gas.
combined with, or maybe it's combined with one of those other to-dos. Anyways, I think let's go to the next question. The next question is someone's saying that the faucets are not working. I think they're probably talking about the Twitter faucet, if I'm not wrong, right? The Discord faucet is working fine. But yeah, any
Twitter's
update on that?
Twitter's making like all these crazy changes to their backend,
Yeah.
and it's hard to keep up with what they're doing, and things are breaking really.
And I think they have some new limits, which is
Mhm.
we're getting a lot of requests on the Twitter faucet. So due to the limits that Twitter introduced, I think it may not work. But if I'm not wrong, I think the Discord faucet works well.
Yeah,
And,
definitely. Yeah. So please try using the Discord faucet instead. Yeah, and the Twitter faucet is like not predictable.
Yeah.
The good thing is we have numerous faucets. We have a Telegram faucet as well as Discord, and the Twitter faucet, and also third-party community faucets as well. So there's a lot of options available to you. If one's down, several others are up and working.
Okay, the next question, I think, Greg, do you want to take it? Someone's asking about what about NFTs, the growth plan for NFTs on Shardeum blockchain?
Sure. Yeah, so we currently have a community artist working on the first major NFT release. And so that will be released on Bandit, as well as some of our other NFT community platforms. It's not just like a replicated image. This is unique art, and there's actual utility being created and a storyline going along with the project. So it'll be really exciting for the community to have something that is engaging and has a storyline they can follow in the NFT ecosystem. We're going to continue to build out the infrastructure for the NFT ecosystem first. So, right now we're looking for some popular NFT marketplaces to add support for Shardeum, and expanding the amount of launch pads available as well. And then once those infrastructure pieces are in place, we'll start to network a lot with different artists, and work with those artists to issue their NFT projects on Shardeum. Shardeum at the moment doesn't have a specific vertical focus on NFTs or DeFi or any vertical. We just want to provide a great scalable smart contract platform that anyone can build on. And with that, one of the things we're focused on is helping to grow the NFT vertical.
Thanks, Greg. And I think there's one more question asked by someone in Chinese, with again around the issue with transactions failing. I think we just covered that previously. There are a couple of updates that will go live, which will solve these transaction failure issues soon. The next question is someone wants to understand that Shardeum has a strong community in India, and they want to know, how would the project be seen as a global product and not just an India focused? And that's a very good question, and that's something that we've been working on. The thing is, Shardeum and any blockchain, which is a horizontal smart contract platform, is a is a global product to be used by people around the world. There are no geographic barriers, but there's a go-to-market strategy that you should decide on to bring in adoption. And it just so happens that we have had a strong community in India right from day one. So we focus on growing the community, and we still continue to do that. But in parallel, we started working on learning how to grow the community in different countries, across continents, and that's something, it's like we are new to it, so we are learning, and we are going to grow. We are seeing some great traction in Africa, for example. We've just started our efforts in the US. Slowly and steadily, it's how most of the chains have to work on. They have to start with one geography and slowly go to the rest of the world. It's just that because Shardeum started really early with the community in place, you're seeing something being built. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the line, when everyone around the world is using Shardeum for transactions, and we've got tens of thousands of transactions happening by millions of people around the world, it'll be seen as a global product. But all of you guys are just new to this ecosystem we are building together. So it looks like, okay, it's only India, but the rest of the world is joining in. And the idea is to go in that direction, keep growing. In terms of our team, we are already a globally distributed team with people from India, US, and Europe, and other parts of Asia. So, I think we're always open to new ideas. We have a lot of programs built out to help us grow in different countries. And if you have any more ideas and suggestions, please let us know. We are open to collaborations to grow the Shardeum brand across the world. Okay, next one is a bit technical. I think probably Omar, you can take this. How is the Shardeum network safe from someone taking over 51% of the nodes?
Yeah, I think that one gets asked almost every time. So
Yeah.
there's several things that the network does in order to prevent like a 51% takeover attack, and in particular, like even a shard takeover attack. So when nodes join the network, they get to select their public key, but they get assigned a node ID, and that node ID is kind of determines which shard that node would be participating in. So the nodes are not able to determine where they go in the network, and so it makes it difficult for somebody to try to put all of their nodes in one shard. And then the other aspect is that there's rotation going on in the network, where nodes that have been in the network for a long time are rotated out, and new nodes are given a chance to join the network. And so this also helps prevent somebody from trying to accumulate a lot of their nodes into the network. And the third is that the amount of standby nodes that are out there, that also contributes to how hard it would be to take over the network. So imagine if there was just say 2,000 active validators in the network that are doing consensus, but let's say there's 20 or 50,000 nodes in standby that are wanting to join the network, and they're slowly getting rotated in and out. Well, if you want to do a 51% takeover of the network, you don't just need 1,000 nodes to take over the active nodes. You're going to need the active plus standby number of nodes. So you got to do 51% of that, and that would be 25,000 nodes or so. So it gets really difficult. And then the other aspect of it is that even when you want to join the network, you do put up a stake, right? So there's a cost to even running a validator and trying to join the network. And then finally, if you do try to do something malicious, there will be like penalties where nodes can get slashed. So that's also another thing that prevents nodes from trying to misbehave. So yeah, so there's lots of things that will help prevent like a 51% takeover attack.
Thanks, Omar. I think the 51% attack question also gets asked often because one of the whenever you talk about a sharded network, the shard takeover attack is what everyone gets worried about, because it's less number of nodes that you have to. But I think the way Shardium is designed, with the whole standby nodes, and uh, not having the option to choose which shard a node can join, I think sort of makes us unique in that aspect, and I think helps prevent this attack to a large extent as well. Um,
Yeah, I think shared security is really important. Like the more SHM that's staked, the more expensive it becomes to get 51% of your nodes into a shard. And so these standby validators provide shared security to the Shardium network, where all of the SHM staked among the standby validators provide security to the network, because then you have to be able to afford enough SHM to stake enough validators to get approximately 51% of the standby validators. So it's definitely a great architecture decision.
the next question is, how will Shardium attract new users, considering there are so many new L1s already out there, and there are different L1s struggling to get users, and they have low transactions currently. There's not a simple to answer question. It's not straightforward. I mean, we could talk whole day about our strategy, but to give you some quick, numbers, we've got over 800,000 users on our testnet since we've launched, and we've got a really strong community that's helping grow the ecosystem. We have a technology which is not really what I love to say as borrowed technology. You might think that there are so many L1s, but if you really go deep, you'll realize that there are only a few L1s which are really at the core brand new technologies. Rest are just derived. They're folks, or they're just using existing software. So all they can do is innovate in marketing, but you don't have tech innovation. Shardium has this unique advantage of tech innovation and marketing innovation coming together, which is why we've been able to grow so fast. And as we get to the mainnet, the idea is to continue this momentum. And when you are presented with a brand new technology that really works and it scales, and your fees don't increase when there's demand, and the ease of just deploying existing EVM compatible products, I think we have this, all the right ingredients are in place. We just now have to get them all together at mainnet. And I'm confident that with the support of the community, we will be able to make this to be the largest smart contract platform in the world over time. And that's our goal. And it's not by trying to pull in users of other smart contract platforms right now. We think that we are still at a stage where the ecosystem is very small, and it is our responsibility to grow this ecosystem. So which is why we focus so much on education and bringing new users to the Web3 ecosystem. And all of you as part of the community, I think we should all focus on that. How do we onboard more people to Web3? We are not here to eat into a small pie that exists. We are here to increase the size of the pie. And today the crypto ecosystem has about 200 million people, and I think we'll be responsible to take it to 1 billion people. So that's about 800 million people still not in crypto. And I think if we deliver on our product and on our conviction of growing this market, we'll be able to really bring about a massive, change in the whole global, I would say, decentralized ecosystem. And that's when mass adoption comes in, and everyone's trying for that, and we are trying in our own unique way. So yeah, I'll take a pause there. Like I said, we could keep talking about how do we drive adoption, but we are on the right path, and we need your help to continue to grow as part of this, initiative. Um, the next question probably is for you, Greg. People want to know some more about the backers of Shardeum. I think
Yeah.
you can talk a bit about our VCs, investors, and all.
Yep. Shardeum's backed by some of the most successful early stage investors in Web3, such as Jane Street, Amber Group, Spartan Group, and Struck Capital, to name a few. We've raised approximately $24.7 million in funding across 2 pre-Series A rounds. One was a seed round, one was a strategic round. The seed round valuation was $199 million, and the strategic valuation was $248 million. Now we're getting ready for our Series A, where we'll be raising a much larger round from growth stage investors. These are funds with over $500 million raised in their fund. So excited to raise a lot of growth capital to expand our team and further the development of Shardeum, as well as the adoption of Shardeum. And with more resources comes greater reach and distribution to grow the community and execute some of these ideas we have to bring on board more users and developers. And to the last question, I think our focus on education and trying to grow the pie and the amount of users in Web3 is a great tactic. I also think there should be some unique things about a product that incentivizes and attracts users. Like if we were just making a fork of Ethereum and there was no unique technology innovation, and all we were trying to do was just educate new users on Web3, they'd probably learn about Web3 from the work we were doing, but then go and use Ethereum or another network. But I think, the approach we're taking to solve the scalability challenges in Web3 and not sacrifice decentralization is something really unique that also attracts users and developers to the Shardeum ecosystem as well.
Thanks, Greg. I think we are now out of time, and I hope we've been able to answer most of the questions that the community had. And the objective of having these monthly updates is, the same, which is to update you on what we're building, where we are, and to also answer your questions. Thanks a lot for asking those questions. They help everyone else understand Shardeum better. And hope to see all of you next month with our update for September.
Thanks, Nishal. Thanks, Omar. So there will be 5 minutes to scan this QR code and download or receive the POAP. And what I like to say is, who knows what the utility of this POAP could be someday. So if you're here now and you want to be recognized for participating in this event, please scan and receive this Shardeum POAP. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.